There are now 69 active wildfires burning. To date, 500,000 hectares have burned. Now, but in spite of this situation, the good news is that the number of fires is well below average for this time of the year. It is also well below the 10-year average for the total area burned for this time last year as well. Now, as of June 12th, Canada is at a national preparedness level 2. This indicates that wildfire activity is increasing within one or more jurisdictions, while the demand for firefighters' equipment is light in other jurisdictions. Now, that being said, multiple regions are at an elevated risk due to a combination of hot, dry, and windy conditions. Now, the key areas of concern include northeastern British Columbia, northern Alberta, south central Northwest Territories, and northern Quebec. There are also several new wildfires over east central and west central Quebec, which is the region of most risk for this upcoming week. While expected, rainfall is in some regions may reduce the risk of fire. Thunderstorms and associated lightning strikes present a concern of new ignitions, though. Potential flash flooding could also complicate firefighting efforts. Now, I continue to urge all Canadians to be prepared. When it comes to wildfire, it's an important part of their prevention education. So I encourage all Canadians to check out the FireSmart program online. It can help you to protect your home and also your community.
Experts led a wildfire forecasting briefing to share what data is telling us this wildfire season may look like. Unfortunately, this forecasting continues what has become an alarming but an all too predictable trend. Climate forecasts indicate that the coming summer months will likely be warmer than normal in most of Canada, with parts of the country seeing less rainfall than normal. Issued in May, the expected area of highest fire risk has shifted from British Columbia to the Prairie provinces and to most of the Northwest Territories. For June, there is a higher likelihood of above normal fire activity across much of Canada, stretching from the edge of British Columbia across Canada to Western Labrador, New Brunswick, and southern Nova Scotia. In July 2024, fire activity is possible from Yukon and eastern British Columbia across to western Quebec. The most intense region is likely to be from northeastern British Columbia across the Northwest Territories and the Prairie provinces. This forecast underscores the importance of wildfire mitigation and, of course, of climate adaptation. We are working together to prepare for whatever the next few months have in store. We also came together to collectively launch the Canadian Wildland Fire Prevention and Mitigation Strategy, which recognizes the importance of mobilizing whole-of-society actions towards wildland fire resilience. The strategy will identify activities and allows us to proactively and collectively plan and prepare for wildland fires, recognizing that contributions and implementation will vary across Canada based on existing programs and diverse needs.
The Government of Canada's priority, as we face what is shaping to be another difficult wildfire season, is the safety and well-being of Canadians. Our ability to coordinate, collaborate, and prepare is our greatest strength as we navigate growing challenges in a changing climate. But what else the government is doing to help our communities adapt to the impacts of climate change? Well, yesterday, Environment and Climate Change Canada introduced a new heatwave climate attribution pilot. With this tool, climate scientists can now calculate to what extent human-caused global warming played a role in making heat waves more likely. And just last week, Environment and Climate Change Canada announced improvements to its air quality forecasting model to better support Canadians during wildfire events. We're now issuing a red banner air quality advisory to alert Canadians when the air quality health index exceeds a rating of 10 for 3 or 4 more hours during wildfire smoke events, representing a very high risk levels. Lastly, I announced last week the launch of the Local Leadership for Climate Adaptation Initiative, a new $530 million federal initiative through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. It is one of the largest ever investment in climate adaptation in Canada's history. Over the next 8 years, this new initiative will support more than 1,400 municipal adaptation projects, helping communities become more resilient and livable. Some of these projects could address better wildfire planning and infrastructure, for example. Municipalities are encouraged to apply by August 16th.